Hello there. We're live. I'm Petra. I'm just crinkling around with something that's for later. My live today is called The Very Best Money Mistakes Sensitive Creatives Make. I'm Petra, and I just wanted to speak to you today. I hope people are coming on. Maybe people come live. Maybe people see it in the repeat afterwards when it's on my timeline. That's also wonderful. I'm Petra, and we know each other because you're on my Facebook. And don't I have so many of you great, sensitive, wonderful artists and inspired people and sensitive creatives and like spiritual people. Really this artistic kink on my Facebook. And I love that we connected over the past couple of years when my network became more and more worldwide, and I was really, I was very happy about that. It got worldwide because we met in groups about health, about fasting, about holistic health, right? Yeah, I did a lot of that. Or I met you through spirituality and twin flames in groups where we talked so much together. Or maybe even we met in a creative group, together about creative entrepreneurship, or that was my group. But there are more like Facebook groups where I met you guys, about being creative, expressing yourself, and trying to be an entrepreneur at the same time. Yeah. I'm just happy to know you, and I want you to know that I am a creative entrepreneur and a sensitive artistic person as well, just like you, and I actually want to help you, and I want to help you better. And that's why I went back to my own business coach last week, and my current profile picture is from that. So when you click on my profile picture, you see us together. That was my meeting with her. Her name is Francine van der Bomen. And she lives actually quite close, although she also works and lives worldwide these days as well. Yeah, she lives sort of in two places. Well, she says she lives in Jakarta, and we're talking about locally here in the Netherlands, in Europe, right? So anyway, so she's quite international as well at this point. Nice to see you, Mia, and like more people. You can say hi. That will be lovely. Then I can also see really perhaps your name. Sometimes there's a delay in like the people that I see or your comments, and I don't immediately see you. The very best money mistakes creatives make. 4 tips. So I wanted to start with, like confessing what my biggest mistake is. I thought it was fair to do so, and time to do so. I think every truthful development, every truthful effort to help you guys out starts with self-research. So that's what I did, and that's why I went back to my own business coach, Francine, last week. I got a lot of feedback. One of the points was that I'm inconsistent and I'm not always the greatest at really helping you. Sometimes what I did was more helping myself instead, which is great. But we actually want to have a creative person that helps themselves, helps someone else, and then even acknowledges that in money. Yeah, because that's like one big topic that I want to speak about these days with all of you, because isn't it amazing that us creative people have like this value creating power inside of us. But most of the time we're like not really translating that in money, or in enough money, or in a lot of money, or in really great wealth that comes in flow, and that makes all your dreams come true, right? That's somehow difficult for many of us. Anyway, back to my own big mistake. When I meditated some days on what I really do wrong, it's more or less this. I cannot finish something. And that's due to coming up with too many ideas all day long. Maybe you have that too. You're so creative that you come up with the next good idea when your first good idea didn't even reach the finish line. It's still on its way towards money. And then you already have 3 new ideas. So creative, so incredibly artist-like to do that. But as I said to a beloved friend not so long ago, nobody pays for good ideas. People pay for being touched by the results of creativity, becoming more creative themselves. So I guess this is like a big mindset and emotional change that creative entrepreneurs can make. I believe so. So let me see what kind of tips I had for you today. Number 1 is get out of denial. I mean, that's a big one, right? To get out of the denial. I think the denial is on one hand that you are having this great power of creativity and what it's worth, that it's so incredibly valuable. When you can give some of that to other people, when you can share that a little bit with other people, how valuable that is. And like the other part of the denial might be, just like I did, like denying what you potentially do wrong, to not translate that value into money in such a wealthy, big way. Getting out of denial is actually quite difficult because it takes true introspection. Because we deny what we deny often. Getting out of denial of your value and of the fact that you may not be letting that value land in a land of money, which is the making come true of that value. So the second tip for today is feel your value. Oh, there it is. Feel your value. Yeah. Welcome. I see a couple of more people came by. Feel your value is important because that's the only way to get number 1 solved. You need to get out of denial. So you really need some introspection and feel that you have that value somehow. Feel where this great lack is in your life, that you're not making this value land in the land of money, right? You got to feel that. You got to feel like the lack almost. When you feel it, there is an incentive to do something about it. That's what I learned. That's what I did. So allow yourself to feel it. And what I feel these days is that you have to allow it to feel it in the heart, really physically and energetically in the heart. So the third tip is understand your value. And that has a lot to do with the social value of creativity and even the societal value of creativity, because that's enormous. Since the beginning of the 2000s, we have been growing as a, let's say, the Western society in a direction that has more and more importance for creativity and for creative people, artists and designers and architects and musicians and theater makers and creative thinkers and authors and people that think differently about society. They were sort of forming this creative class, and you saw that all over the world in big cities in the Western world. So this creative class really is established. That's true. And from 2010 on approximately, you saw more and more that the idea that creativity from that creative sector was actually going to penetrate all other sectors of society and of the professional environment as well. So that sector was not even standing on its own anymore, but that core quality of it was actually needed in all other sectors. So that makes it even more important. So maybe you're not fully aware that you are part of that social societal movement. That is, of course, the top layer of something very deep. You could say it is the top layer of soul creativity coming about in the real world. Because that's like the depth of creativity, the potential of it in the depth of it. You know that because you are that creative person, right? Creative people are so inspired from the soul out. So I don't need to tell you that because you know. But the point is, do other people know that? Do other people feel that? Do other people pay for that? Right. For that incredible depth that you can bring as well. Even besides the fact that it's like in the horizontal space, socially and societally getting more and more important. Anyway, let's see if we have a fourth tip. And we have, yeah. Create value for others. Create value for others. When you are this sensitive artist, maybe you have this wonderful, oeuvre of freestanding paintings or like your poems that are like standing on their own, autonomous, wonderful. And then there's this extra invitation to think about if the creative value that you bring to the audience of your painting and like the listener to your poetry or the reader of your poetry, what is that actual creative value that you bring to that person? Create value for others, the fourth tip. So to really think differently about that, what kind of value do you actually bring to that reader of your poetry? Maybe you even bring them deeper listening, better understanding, opening themselves to new depth of hearing. Well, and isn't that like a professional skill that we all need in a professional environment? Hearing, listening to our colleagues, listening to each other. So that's how you understand better how you actually, as a sensitive creative, create value for other people. And you understand better how you really do that. Anyway, that's really the direction I want to inspire you in, and then make it come true. Make that value come true. Make that money, because the more money you make, that's what I learned from my business coach, Francine. Yeah, I'm still learning this now. The more you help people, the more money you generate. So the more money you generate, or the higher the goal you set for the money to generate, the more people you have helped to become this version of themselves that is creative, that is aligned with the society of the future. And you can do that. You have the power to do that. Artists are incredible, blissful, love generating, out of thin air magicians. Now give that and generate that value that comes back to you, so that you are sure that it was passed on to the other people. Yeah, that gives such a thankfulness. Yeah, that was my last note. It's always great that your notes, that they make sense when I do a talk. And you get towards the end of your talk and your notes make sense, because it says extra thankfulness. Well, and I do feel extra thankful, because yeah, that's I guess also like the end of that movement that you make when you want to generate value and for other people, so money comes back and you feel really thankful. Thankfulness in itself is a great wealth maker, because you feel wealthy already before you did anything, which is another thing that my business coach taught me last week. I love that. Thank you, Francine. We're going to get a card, because I thought that was fun to have one manifestation card for entrepreneurs, my own self-made card deck at the end of it. I think that's fun, because it has all kinds of archetypes in creative process on it. On every card, another one, and it can help you to push your creative process forth. Anyway, this is the one that says from self-acknowledgement to value. And we see we're gonna make a one that is really full color and stuff. It's not full color yet. We see a heart that is falling in the ocean of more hearts and more water and stuff. From self-acknowledgement to value. Well, I do believe that is actually just the right summary of the talk of today. From self-acknowledgement to value. Now, the very best money mistakes creatives make. I could not finish something, which also meant that I could not tie the deal, which is the end, the finish of your business action. You have to get the money to come, because that's how and why you can help that person. I actually want to invite you to talk more about your biggest money mistake as a creative. And you can do that on my timeline in the post that I will be making. And you are very welcome to come to our English spoken international Facebook group as well. I'll post a link below. And in 4 hours today, we will do another live where we can speak about your biggest money mistake. Be honest and come up with it, but you can do it behind the closed doors of our Creative Entrepreneurs group. So your privacy will be safe, right? And we can speak about it in this second live I will be doing today at 8 o'clock Central European time, Amsterdam time, which is in 3.5 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. We will do that over there. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'm sure we will, meet very soon again about all these topics and what it can do for you. Thanks. Bye-bye.